What's going on, people? Anything goes. Back again for the second week in a row of podcast number 40, the big 40.
2 in a row?
Yeah, 2 in a row. It's not the first time since 2019, maybe. They've done a podcast 2 years in a row, and it's not a happy one today. If you was looking for banter and happiness, then go check out our other videos. The podcast is about anything and whatever's going on, and
Currently.
knife crime is the subject this week because
you don't want people to like, share and subscribe.
Not for this, no. But make sure you subscribing and liking, and commenting down. Like we said on the last podcast, let's keep the comments all positive. Let's feed off each other's positivity right now in times of lockdown and stuff. But yeah, this week there was quite a shocking stabbing in Reading, and knife crime's only been getting worse and worse and worse since from when we was little. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, now half of this is social media news and half of this is actual news. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But from what I read on like actual news, 3 13, 14-year-olds, 3 boys and 1 girl have all been arrested.
Colluding.
For stabbing another 14-year-old.
I think it should be stated for murdering. And what's crazy is it's not even murder. It's like the fact that they've all planned it and done it as a group. Like it's even worse. Mm-hmm.
And then the social media news is that the reason behind it was the boy, his girlfriend was sending nudes to someone. He had a go at her, and because he had a go at her, she set him up with these 3 other young boys to stab him. I don't actually know what's wrong with humans, but like it seems like it's getting younger and younger.
Of course it is, but still humans.
And like this is in Reading, obviously. You get good and bad parts of every town and stuff, but the picture of one of the boys is mad, because it's just like, who is this little kid? Why is he even walking about with knives and stuff in Reading? Like, I'm not saying Reading
is a walk in the park,
yeah,
but still.
And like, since we was young, it's just got worse, and we've had their moments.
What moments?
Where you're walking through ends that's not your ends.
Oh, like that. That's
you're
what
slipping
you
on your ones, and you just think like, if anyone tries it right now, I'm just on my own.
No whip at the man, the linking chicks, just slip it.
Shout out to Kano. Like, but for this,
no, the whole thing's stupid. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to say.
13 and 14-year-olds to
even be indulgent in this is stupid.
To like corroborate murdering someone else. Like, you don't.
Who do you think should get the most severe punishment?
I think they all gotta hold the equal punishment, whether you stuck the knife in or not. So you like blunt about it, because you've all, the girl has. Someone might say the girl needs to have the most punishment because she's the one that's the reason she's gone and found these boys and set them up. She's got him in that place and all that. Yeah. Which probably she will do.
She definitely needs to hold her life for that anyway.
Because she's not. I think contracting a murder is more punishment than doing the murder. But she hasn't actually contracted it because she hasn't paid money.
No. But the evidence,
to do it, but
there's so much evidence.
But yeah, I think it's just they're all gone there. They're all, and like, what if you're watching this and you're younger, you need to realize if you're doing this, you're walking about with a knife, and you think you're bad with your 3-4 friends, yeah, them 3-4 friends ain't gonna be your friends in 5-10 years.
Some of them might.
Maybe if you've got 10 friends,
If you're lucky.
if you've got 10 friends, 1 or 2 of them will be your friends in 5-10 years, and you're gonna walk about and take someone's life, ruin their family's life,
Your life.
you ruin your life, your friends have ruined their lives, all for what? All because some girls sending naked pictures to someone. Like, what is going on? Like, take it from someone, yeah, who has lost someone very, very close to me from knife crime. It's like, it destroys everything. And you just don't know, even like, I don't even know what I've lost now. Because I can't look into a crystal ball and see what my life would have been like if
they were still
it
here,
didn't
man.
happen.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand that, because you're not bad. If
They're bad. They're bad.
if you've got a knife, you're not bad.
No.
I'm telling you,
They're bad. They're bad.
that as soon as you put a knife in your pocket, one, it means you're so many times more likely to
Either
be
either
used,
kill or be
or
killed.
for someone, if you pull a knife out on someone
And they get hold of that.
they either get hold of it or they pull a bigger one out on you.
A knife?
Yeah,
That's not
that's
a
not a
knife.
knife. This is a knife, or something worse. Like, we've never even said like, where's my knife? Never even thought about like.
Wait, keys, phone, shank?
But that's what some of them do in their little man bags, in their little pussy bags, because that's also something it makes you. If you feel like you need to carry a knife to be bad, you're just a pussy.
No, they're bad.
Because there's no way you're 13 and 14-year-old and you're in.
I don't agree with him.
You're not in 13 and 14 up to 18. You're not in any kind of situation, especially in an area like that, where you need to be. You're not in a gang war. You're not a drug dealer who.
I was more thinking that
you're not, other drug dealers are going to come and back them up.
It's not impeding, affecting your everyday life unless you're involved in war, and I mean actual war, not gang beef.
If you know there's not a fucking gang after you or after your gang, then what the fuck are you taking it out for? And why the fuck are you taking one out and taking another young person's life? It's 3-on-1 anyway.
Yeah, but they don't see it.
If one of you fancies this girl, yeah, and you're trying to act bad,
just tell her she's paying.
But just if it's 3-on-1, just give him a couple licks. Call him a dickhead. Kick him when he's on the floor once.
Make him undress
and then
himself.
Make him undress himself. Do embarrass him. Don't like take his life.
Yeah.
For what?
Like realistically, like all of this shit comes down to all this peer pressure and all of that, and then you're now kind of it's the shit. It's like bullies in school, innit? But like you've always grown up seeing bullies. Like whoever was a bully in year 3, by the time it was year 6, they got fixed, and if they didn't get fixed, they weren't in the school.
It's like I think it gets when Get says in the tune about. Gets to the point where the guy, the young boy, has enough of being bullied.
And
so
that
but
changes.
that's what I'm talking. Like
balance.
when we were like that age, not every time, but that's what it was more like. People were taking it out because they were shook of getting got.
Or it was
just gangs.
There was knife wars.
Or it was just gangs, or you were shook like.
It was knife wars. That's it.
You're not taking it out for a 3-on-1.
No, you're getting punched up. You man are getting them man are pin dropping on your head.
I've thought because a lot of people are trying to like pin blame and stuff like that, and to me,
who'd you pin blame?
That's what I'm about to like talk about. For me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate while I'm asking you who to blame. But for me, you blame no one but
the individuals
kid, and that
they say, oh, 13 or 14,
No,
like, they're not old enough to really understand people, like, oh, that's why you can't drink above 18, that's why you can't have sex before 16, all that. No, you know, at 13 and 14, you know what taking a life is. And
no, you don't understand
at 13
it.
and 14, you most likely have experienced someone near, like close to you, dying as well. So you know what it means as well
to die.
Some people have said, like, this is just social media, and you know what social media is
opinionated.
like. Yeah. Some people have said, do you blame the parents?
No.
Like
if you want to blame the parents, they're like 5%, 10%.
I feel
Whose parents? You mean individually? Because then that's like 8 people.
Yeah.
Well, go on anyway. Say what you're saying, and then I'll say my piece on it.
Well, I said I was going to play devil's advocate, but I can't really for this one because you have to throw that out the window just because we know what we was doing that our parents never could have stopped us.
Yeah, no, it's not even just
we used
that.
To especially at that age, I was out around the area that I live in now, like drinking at 13, 14, 15 with all my schoolmates, and my mum knew nothing about it. She might have known if I was taking a little bag out of a knife in it, especially since what happened with my family. Like, that's the whole reason I'm out of ends before I got to the age where I would probably seen
being involved in
more of that. I'm in an area now where that it happens, but it's not like that.
It's not a regular occurrence and shit.
Yeah, so the parents, like,
no,
the police probably turned up at all 5 people, all 5 kids. The police probably turned up at the door, and the parents, like, were probably shocked, like, never thought that their kids would be involved either side of this, and like, fuck knows what the little man's parents must feel like now.
It's all mad because you like, even I'm trying to put it even into like the worst case scenario where, like, even if there's like abuse and shit at home and stuff like that, it's too coincidental that all 4 of them are at home and struggle to make the right and wrong life choices based on that upbringing. Do you get it?
Yeah, the thing is,
if one of them is fine, fair enough. That's, you know, that can happen in that kind of group cases. But there's no way all 4 of them. That's how things are going on. So I'm saying 5%, 10% is the parents' fault, because at some point,
I mean, that's what you're talking about is how gangs happen, really. But that's when it's in like extreme poverty.
Yeah.
And we know what that's like as well.
And it isn't.
Apologies if you hear any meowing in the background. Tech's cat had kittens, and then in the corner of the front room. I don't think you will hear them, but in case you do, like in cases of extreme poverty, gangs come together because they have nothing to do, because they're trying to make money together, and that's how it happens. But a 13 and 14-year-old in Reading, and I know 1 or 2 people in Reading, but I don't know what life is like in Reading, but it still doesn't. That's not even 3 or 4 of them is not a gang anyway.
No, but like, I don't think my thoughts towards the whole thing would be any different if this was in fucking London, in Custom House, in Poplar. It wouldn't change the narrative just based on the environment alone, because, like, again, at 13 years old...
That's my point about it being like gangs come up in extreme poverty and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying that this
has nothing to do with all of that. That's why it's so shocking.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's just that either.
Like,
imagine, think about how much people in like the areas that we grew up in that wasn't involved. As much as this like, there's road wars, there's all this shit going on, they still wasn't involved.
Well, we know people on both sides of that, like people that have been involved, people that haven't been involved.
So like I can't just say everything's down to that, because if there's things that you think or believe in, I'm not saying it's
there's
easy.
Definitely something wrong in your brain.
Oh yeah.
To even be able to do that to someone.
What, at 13?
Yeah, especially like out of, like I said with the Gets lyrics, when someone's being bullied and they've just had enough and they just crack. But to actually be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get him tonight. You hear, like,
no, the whole thing could have went sideways, because, like, for whatever reason, this has happened, it's happened. Now, once you get to the point where it's all part of the plan, the setup bit, who's to say, like, this guy's will to stay alive isn't much higher than your will to get him? And then he kills all 4 of them. Is he now the victim? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just long, like, no matter how you look at it, the whole thing is just stupid.
I was just thinking, like, when I like first heard this, I was just thinking, like, the little man's parents, like, I had no idea what, especially if it's like, because they're saying it's his girlfriend, and like I said, the social media news is that she was sending nudes at 13, 14. I mean, come on, man.
There's so much information in it,
like,
that affects the parents way more.
We don't know how long has that been his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind they're 13, 14, so girlfriend and boyfriends are nothing.
Every other weekend there's
girlfriend and boyfriends are nothing at that age. But has this girl, like, imagine your son's died and it's a girl that you've had in your house, been welcoming and stuff like that, and
the reason why he died is because he just disagreed with actions. Like, he vocalized.
And like I said, we're saying, it's because he had a go at her or whatever.
Yeah, but even if he sat there and called her a dumb slut,
who knows if
you're dead.
He might have gone mad. He might have threw stuff. He might have done whatever he's done. But because I mean, him saying, "Hey, don't send those nudes. Stop doing that. That's mine, not theirs." It's not going to exactly make her turn around and say that.
But we don't know. Some people have this weird sense of, what is it, privilege or something? I don't know what it is.
A lot of kids now think they're bad for this other reason.
What?
And this is I see this a lot.
What, the Louis Vuitton man bag?
On social media.
Social?
No, yeah, social media. Drill music.
You think drill? Nah.
No, like I said,
saying,
devil's advocate.
Yeah.
A lot of social media was saying, well, this is what happens when you let your kids listen to drill music. Because it's glorifying gang stuff, it's glorifying shooting, stabbing.
Maybe PlayStation 4,
gang
PlayStation
wars.
5 are to blame as well then.
Yeah, GTA.
I was more thinking just simple COD than GTA, but yeah.
Yeah, I see that a lot on social media. Like I said, glorifying all that stuff.
Everything's
and I won't lie, I agreed with it up to a point, because a lot of young, not even kids from urban areas, are walking about now in their tracksuits or their low bats, walking about with a bop and their little man bags because they're listening to drill music.
And seeing that's
obviously that's
just
a role model to them, and that's what they wanna. That's the life they're living. But if you live in a suburb and you listen to drill music, trust me, the life ain't like what them
but you know what's
drill
more
artists.
What's more mad?
And most of them drill artists are making it up. You know, it's a character.
What is
the same as everything you watch?
What's more fucked is the whole cycle of this stems. Like, for instance, say you're 30 and you're in the men's, and then there's a girl you like. The moment this girl you like mentions one drill song, you've probably corrupted like a whole area into drill based on one guy. So say like at first you're any guy, you start listening to drill, you have earned up your own persona in your area or your school, and now everyone's listening to stuff that you like and shit like that. Everything's now, like 4 weeks ago, they didn't know who Lowski was. 4 weeks later, there's at least 100 youths with man bags, trackies, low bats,
screaming Spartan. It's the truth, man. Like the thing is, like I said, I agree with it up to a point, because if you glorify anything, younger people are gonna gravitate towards what's popular.
What's popular, yeah.
It's being glorified, so they just think this is the way. Like,
yeah, but I just don't think it's easy to just like, if people, like, the same way you're sitting there saying like you can understand it to a certain degree, I think the same way music is entertainment and people can listen to it at any given moment on any given day, it's the same way. As much as you might be, say you're out, like obviously it's different now, because like lockdown is fucked. It's not like you could just go out and play out. So like life for them is a lot different. But so now these kids, say they do, I don't know, meet up, go park, bun a zoo or something. At some point, most of these kids have their own consoles, their own entertainment systems when they get yard. They're not just going yard and banging out drill they'll bang out drill for a certain period of time, then play violence. Do you get it?
Yeah, but
Even if you want to take it down to something as cartoony as flipping Fortnite, man, they're just swinging a pickaxe, bruv. And then you could change it, whatever.
This is why I said I agreed with it up to the point where, like I said, you glorify anything, people will gravitate towards it, and it's popular again. People will gravitate towards it. But where I have to disagree with it, because we're all grime kids, and not every grime song, not every grime freestyle, not every radio set was ever about violence or gang life.
These things that happen are based on everything, not the music. Do you get it?
Like, how many bars do we spit to? Let's say it's a family tree set. How many times do them man talk about
shelling,
shotting food on road, like
it doesn't.
Like Murky Ace's bars is, man thought he was a shanker, so I said shank me then, but he was the one that got shanked. Like, we'll spit them bars, but we're not going out and say, like, even at that age, listening to, like, you listen to Griminal at 14, you're ready to put your head through the wall. But like I said before, there's something wrong in some people's heads where
it's their sense.
The wiring is wrong, and it's just like,
it's a sense of thinking. It's like, no matter what, yeah, these kids, like, even if they're not really on it, they know what they're about to do is wrong. And I mean that to the point where they might not even decided they're definitely going to stab it before they did. But I'm saying, even when you've linked up with the other boys and then you've gone to see this youth, no matter what happens here, it's not ending.
No, it's not.
It's not ending well.
Because there's no way 3 boys trying to impress
one
a girl
is good
by jumping her boyfriend or whatever they plan to do.
It's gonna end.
Adrenaline and everything is just feeding off each other.
And the peer pressure.
And how much you want to bet? They was all 3 of them were standing there waiting for
time.
One
for the first one.
The first move.
Damn, man, it's silly, it's stupid. It's like, I feel more sorry for, like, not even just the parents that lost the child.
Everyone,
all of their parents.
All of those parents have lost their child in some way after it, because do
you disown?
I think because of what I've been through.
I mean, I don't mean like that disown, like full on, but I mean, you know deep down, if that, like, knowing you was involved.
Because of what I've been through, and I'm not a parent, I can't have a full, like, perspective on it. But I think I wouldn't be able to look my kid in the face.
Oh, it just won't be the same, innit?
I just wouldn't be able to do it, just because, like I said, my perspective's a bit unique.
Yeah, based on your experience.
Because of who I lost. My children will know that. So I wouldn't be able to look my kid in the face, because you know what you've taken. A lot of people are gonna obviously just eventually get over it, and not get over it, but like accept it's their kid, innit? They're gonna accept them back.
I don't always think that's the case.
Like the person that killed my family member, their family defend them. And they've defended them since it happened. So, like, people will always defend their family, I guess.
I ain't defending my fucking family if they done shit, bro.
I mean, like,
not all of them anyway.
It's just
some.
It's just I don't understand what doesn't resonate to people when that person's just not coming back.
Too much God in it, respawn.
It's not though. It's not. You can't blame it on any.
There's nothing. I don't think
we'll ever be able to blame it on one specific thing.
If I'm honest, this is just one of those anomalies that you can't really explain anyway. We're never going to know the truth. All the details aren't actually going to come out. And this is just something that's sad and stupid. But it should raise the awareness of, I wouldn't say necessarily what kids are exposed to, but because it can't just be that.
Kids are always going to be exposed to whatever they're allowed to be. I know. You're a parent. I know loads of parents, and they all have different levels of
what they allow their kids to watch or not. Like, especially me, I was always allowed games, and I never really watched like 18 plus films
until like.
but I wasn't into that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, even swearing's weird in my house, even now at 28. Like, I'll swear around my mum, but I won't do it
If everyone's home.
I'll do it when I'm not thinking about it. And like, if my 18-year-old sister swears, my mum looks a bit funny. And like, my 12-year-old sister has like watches horror films now, but until then she was like never watching any of that. And then I just know people that are strict with stuff where they're like, I know someone that doesn't let their 11-year-old son do or watch anything above his age. Like,
and do you know how difficult that is?
Like, even being on his PlayStation, like on FIFA, talking to his friends, they're still weird about. Because they know they can meet people online.
And anything else.
And then some people just say, like, do what you want.
Is that how subtly you're gonna put it? Do what you want?
But it is, isn't it?
I think
some people smoke weed in their bedroom at that age, and while their parents are in. Pretty sure you did. I'm not sure at that age.
No, 14.
14
is when I started smoking.
Your mum was like, "I'd rather you do it at
home."
No,
I was about 16 then.
Oh, when she said that.
Yeah.
When you started.
But when I started, I was 14. But by the time I was like 15, she knew I was smoking.
Yeah, she was like.
But she also knew, because of how her life was and how my life is, you can't just find a way to stop me smoking. You can't make someone.
No, you can't.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why she said, I'd rather you do it here than do it on the streets.
At least I know you're safe and you're not getting harassed, kind of thing. Because it wasn't really about necessarily, being bad or pulling yourself out of character. No, you was doing it like with cousins or friends. Yeah, I was doing it friends and family, but I was also doing music at the time and things like that. So I'm still, in some way, shape or form, you're still keeping it creative and there's still positivity in it.
It's not. You're not 16 sitting at home just smoking weed all day
and depressed and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, and I didn't show any.
Well, like I said, at that age, I was drinking with friends, not every day, obviously, like with school and that, but like on the weekends, you had certain places in the area where everyone would go and meet up, like 30 of us, and you'd all be standing outside the shops asking people, can I buy you stuff and that, until like people gradually got their fake IDs and stuff like.
That's not. I've never.
You can't stop kids doing it. Kids will always do it.
I remember when I found my sister's fake ID. I nearly lost my mind.
You can't stop kids doing it, but there's like stop knife crime and things like that. There's charities like that everywhere, and
I think there needs to be a lot more awareness.
Like you said, you can't just stop it. It's an anomaly. An anemone. Yeah, and like every now and then we hear about these, but it's happening more than we hear about it.
Of course it is.
And like big major shock is a bunch of white kids that put it on the mainstream news, because if it wasn't, you might get it on local news.
Shadeborough?
You might get it on Shadeborough, you might get a little local Met Police
made you think,
like Met Police asking for people knowing information, but it's not on the Sky News homepage or nothing like that. But that's neither here or there.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing.
Like I said,
before you finish anyway, I was just gonna say, like, it's stupid. It can't be helped. It can't be stopped. Like, it can't just start at home. It can't just start by police. It's got, and I definitely don't think it's going to start with the entertainment side of things, because, I think to some degree, as much as all these things are glorified in videos, even when I was a kid, it's the same way I understood. You can't really run up a wall and take 12 steps and then do a backflip. I was 7, 8 years old and understood that, so I'm not going to watch. It's just
education. If it's at home or school or wherever it is, any sort of role model at all, it's just knowing. And like I said, some people just aren't wired like that in their head where they don't get it. It's just teaching people what it actually means when you do something like that. The consequences, once that snowball starts rolling, doesn't stop. Just takes out everything in its way. And
pretty much.
yeah, like I said, not the happiest podcast episode, but the podcast is for talking about topics that we feel meaningful or need to be spoken about.
Just raise awareness.
Yeah.
You can raise awareness on the podcast, or you can raise awareness on the topics on the podcast. But raise awareness.
It'd be silly for us to, even though it's a very small platform at the moment, it'd be silly for us whether
to not
it's
talk about
small
things like this.
or the platform. If the platform becomes big, then we'll always be doing awareness.
On top of that, like you got to see it like this. Like, even if, say for instance, we're on social media and we just scroll past it, it's not something we'll just scroll past and not read. And then because we've now read about it, even when we're not on our phone or not on social media, it's now a thought in our head because of our environments that we was raised and your life experiences, my life experience, and so on and so on. So it's not like it doesn't affect other people anyway. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not negatively affected to the degree of the people that were involved and around them, but it's still something that, as a parent, I'm like, it's just, Do you know what I mean? It's hard.
But yeah, like with whether the platform's small or big, it'd be silly for us not to raise awareness about these things and talk about them. And hopefully...
But the sad part about that is the people in control of the news will only show the white kids that are involved.
Yeah, Mum, I think that's a whole nother
topic.
Yeah, hopefully
things change.
Everyone's doing well in lockdown. Like I said, positivity in the comments. If you want to speak about this sort of stuff in the comments, if you've got stories and awareness to share, then please do that, because I'll be in there. I'll be in the comments sharing stories and awareness and stuff. And next video is tomorrow. Now, bit of a lighter note.
Yeah, that's what the calendar is.
Yeah, bit of a lighter note, bit of wretch tomorrow. So if you've made it this far, remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and other than that, we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
I ain't drinking Hennessy no more, but that depends what I'm on. Okay, I light, I'm on it right now. Looking for a bad bitch that's tryna bite down, eat 'em up. Anything goes, you know. This where anything goes, you know.